All right, good morning, second grade. Today for science, we are going to be looking at a book on changes to Earth's surface and specifically looking at erosion. So today our book that we are going to be reading through is called Weathering and Erosion. So the Earth's surface is always changing, and we're going to learn how weathering and erosion constantly reshape it through wind, water, and more. All right, so first up we have ever-changing Earth. The shape and look of Earth's surface changes over time. It never stops changing. Rivers bend, shorelines wear away, valleys grow deeper, canyons grow wider, mountains break down. These changes can be caused by the blowing wind, or they can result of running water. Ice can cause these changes too. So can the sun's rays. Even people play a part. Earth's surface has changed a lot over the years and continues to do so. Wind, water, and more. Imagine a fierce storm. Rain pours. Winds blow wildly. What do you think the rain and wind do to Earth's surface? They change it. The wind can loosen small bits of dirt and dust. Drip by drip, the rain can wear down a mountain. This process is called weathering. Over time, wind and rain wear down Earth's surface. They break it into small pieces. These pieces are called sediment. Wind and water then move the sediment. They carry it away. This movement is a process known as erosion. Weathering and erosion can happen at the same time. They work together to change Earth's surface. So we see here it says weathering and erosion are changing this mountainside. And then small rocks such as these are easily carried away by this river. Wild waters. Sediment can blow into streams and rivers. It moves with the water on its way to the ocean. It carves into hills. It cuts into mountains. This is how valleys are made. It is also how canyons are made. The Grand Canyon was made this way. The Grand Canyon is huge. It is 446 kilometers or 277 miles long, and it is 2.6 kilometers and 1.6 miles deep. A river carved the massive canyon. And then we're going to look at this last sentence. It says, it took millions of years. But we know as Christians that the world has not been around for millions or even billions of years. So we can say this sentence should say, it took thousands of years for this to happen. Because we know the earth is only thousands of years old, not millions or billions of years. So it says, where is it? The Colorado River runs through the Grand Canyon, but the canyon is in Arizona. And probably many of you have been to the Grand Canyon yourself. Freezing ice. Sometimes water turns to ice. This can cause weathering too. Water can run into cracks in rocks. If the air is cold enough, the water will freeze. It turns to ice and expands or gets bigger. When this happens, the ice widens the cracks. It can even split rocks. Later, if the air gets warmer, the ice will melt. It will turn back into water. When this happens, erosion begins. The water carries away tiny pieces of the rock. A glacier is a very large sheet of ice and snow. It moves slowly down a slope. As it moves, it cuts into nearby rocks. Over time, the glacier melts. The water carves out large valleys. One such valley is called Yosemite Valley. A very long time ago, there were glaciers in Yosemite. These glaciers helped make a beautiful place to visit. And then here it says sunny California. It is hard to imagine sunny California covered in ice. But, and we're going to replace millions with thousands of years ago, it was. Scorching sun. The sun can change Earth's surface as well. The sun heats up rocks. The heat makes the rocks expand. Then, as the air cools, the rocks contract. They shrink. When this happens over and over again, the rocks get very weak. After a while, they begin to crack. They eventually break apart into tiny pieces. Then the erosion process begins and carries away the pieces of rock. Plants and animals. Plants and animals also cause weathering. Sometimes soil builds up in the cracks of a rock. A seed may find its way into that soil. Then a plant will grow in the middle of the rock. As it grows, the plant's roots crack and break apart the rock. Animals can break apart rocks too. Some live underground. They break apart rocks as they move through the dirt. Others break rocks above ground. They crush them by running or walking on them. Harsh chemicals. Chemicals also wear away Earth's surface. There are gases such as oxygen in the air and soil. New chemicals can form when these gases mix with water. Acid is one of these chemicals. It can dissolve rocks. This means it turns the rocks to liquid. Limestone is a type of rock that acid can dissolve quickly. It can make huge cracks in the rock too. It can even make caves and sinkholes. People play a part. People do not cause weathering, but they do speed it up. One way they do this is by polluting the air. Cars release unsafe gases. So do factories. These gases make acid rain. Acid rain eats away at Earth's surface. People speed up erosion too. One way they do this is by cutting down forests. The roots of trees help hold soil in place. When trees are cut down, the soil washes and blows away faster. Seeing is believing. It may be wind or water. It may be ice or sun. It may even be chemicals or plants. Whatever it may be, these forces create amazing sights. Weathering and erosion have made some of the most scenic places in the world. There are creepy caves. There are wonderful waterfalls. You can see crazy cliffs or walk through astounding arches. But hurry, these places won't last forever. All right, and that is our science book today on erosion.